Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Welcome back. President Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, is destined for stardom, whether it's on the political stage or the entertainment stage. The first daughter-in-law is going to be releasing a new album called Back to Believing, and it's scheduled to be released May 2nd. But we have your preview right now. Take a look.
Back to believing. There's a darkness creeping inside your world. It plays harmless up until it leaves you hurt. Right when things seem to be going your way, it comes around to rain on your parade. Don't let it fool you into questioning your worth. When life knocks you down, don't stay on the ground. You've only begun and the best yet to come. So get up, get out, get back to believing. No one around can stop you from dreaming. So get up, get out, get back to believing again and again and again and again. Oh, get up, get out, get back to believing. No one around can stop you from dreaming. So get up, get out, get back to believing again and again and again and again. Oh, now or never, tell me what you're waiting for. What if this is the moment you thought would never come? It never does if you turn and run. When life knocks you down, don't stay on the ground. You've only begun and the best yet to come. So get up, get out, get back to believing. No one around can stop you from dreaming. So get up, get out, get back to believing again and again and again and again. Oh, get up, get out, get back to believing. No one around can stop you from dreaming. So get up, get out, get back to believing again and again and again and again. Oh.
And joining us now with details about Lara's new endeavor is LJ Fino, the president of First Class Label Group, and Jake Lecce, head of A&R at First Class Label Group. Welcome to you both, gentlemen. Amazing song. That was phenomenal.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Loved it. Okay, so give me the backstory here. How did this song come about?
So this song came about with the whole concept to the EP, the album that she's releasing, is basically her diary. So each song is a page out of her diary, is the way that we're kind of looking at it. And, you know, this is a very uplifting song that is encouraging people to not give up, you know, despite challenges they may be facing in their life. And certainly she's gone through some challenges. And I think that it really, really fits her brand and her life completely. So that's sort of where we conceptually came out with that. We wanted an uplifting song that's also kid-friendly, that parents can be proud to play in front of their kids. I mean, if you listen to it, I mean, you just heard it.
Yeah.
It could be like a high school, college commencement song.
Oh, yeah.
Really, you know?
What I'd love to know is I think she's a phenomenal woman. I just all around. How did you get to know her or introduce yourself to her?
It's a long story. I don't want to get into all of the details, but just coming across, in passing at Mar-a-Lago, at different fundraising events. Hey, how you doing? Blah, just a little banter here and there. And she was aware that I produced the Justice for All record with the J6 Choir. And I also did a record with Carrie Lake called 81 Million Votes, My Bleep. And they both did tremendously well. And when I approached her, I had her cell phone number. I can't remember exactly how I got it. Just called her out of the blue and said, hey, I saw you playing the piano on Instagram. I would love for you to play the piano on one of my records. And I was just thinking, just piano.
Yes, because I've seen those videos of her playing the piano. I mean, she looks like she's classically trained.
I think she's self-taught.
Oh, really?
I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. But she is really, really good.
I'm so impressed by her. I mean, she just gets to the piano and, I mean, her posture, her grace.
I know.
It's
truly amazing.
Phenomenal.
I know. I don't know where she finds the time to fit piano playing in.
Yeah.
With a busy schedule.
So you saw her playing the piano, and then what happened?
I gave her a call, said, hey, would love to get you on a record playing the piano. We talked for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then we kind of narrowed down. I said, you can sing. She's like, yeah, I think I can sing.
I think I can sing.
And I said, I know you can sing. I can hear your voice. You have a beautiful speaking voice. Like, are you pitchy? Like, do you sing in the car? Do you do karaoke? She was like, no, I'm not pitchy. Like, trust me, I can tell when people are pitchy.
I love the confidence.
I know. So that's what's great about her. She is so confident. But I go into the studio with her totally blind, not really knowing what her singing voice is going to sound like. And she knocks it out the park.
Yeah.
With her cover of I Won't Back Down, which again, charted on Billboard on 2 separate charts, her inaugural single, which was great. And we did I Won't Back Down specifically. Everybody's, the press tried to spin it as, oh, well, you did I Won't Back Down because the Petty family is sending cease and desist letters to the Trump campaign to stop using that record at his rallies.
Yeah.
That's actually not the true story. The reason we used I Won't Back Down is because Tom Petty wrote the song during a time in his life where he was going through legal troubles in his own right, in his own life.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And at the time we recorded I Won't Back Down with Lara's version, her country version of it, this was when the president was getting indicted left and right. Her whole family is being attacked. So she felt that it fit her life very well.
So it was really speaking to her. And Jake, I want to bring you in on the conversation. So how are you? What's your role in all of this?
So, I have a deep music background. I worked in various different capacities in the music industry over the course of 12 to 15 years. So I've been heavily involved in talent, in management, in A&R, and so I'm always seeking new talent and interesting projects to get involved with. And LJ and Lara and I consequently met at a famous recording studio called Circle House Studios in Miami. LJ and Lara were there to record some music, and I was there doing an interview with an A-list artist. And I'm a big Trump family supporter to begin with. So immediately I recognized Lara in the studio, and I was surprised because it was kind of like a hip hop urban music geared studio. And I was like, wow, like I always thought she was super cool just seeing her personality on television, but meeting her in real life, I mean, it just totally hit home for me. And I was like totally impressed. And, LJ and I started talking, and, clearly he has a very good mind in terms of understanding how the music industry works. And, I could see he was really passionate about it. So I'm always trying to connect the dots. And that's been one of the things that's helped me be successful in my career. And he was telling me about this incredible album that they were working on. And so immediately my mind started working and thinking of, ways where I could bring artists that I have prior existing relationships with into the fold. So we were talking about a couple different names, and I have known a famous rapper named French Montana for about 20 years. I've helped him in a lot of different aspects of his career. So immediately I brought that to LJ's attention, and him and Lara were already on board. Like, they were really interested in him. And one thing led to another, and LJ was able to make the introduction, put them in the studio together in New York, and the rest is history.
Okay, so on this, and you tell me whether it's the album, because I know there's the album, there's the singles. So are we going to be seeing French Montana coming up? And
So that song's already released. If you want to listen to it right now, it's called No Days Off. Lara Trump featuring French Montana. That's out. You can go and listen to it right now.
Wow.
It's a really cool track.
So that is so I mean, for Lara to come into this space, you've been in the music industry for all these years. What does that signal, I think, to the country or to MAGA faithful? I mean, I think a lot of people in MAGA have felt put out, I don't know, not a part of the music industry or traditionally.
Sure. Well, I think it's kind of funny. If you look at, protest songs, for example, and this doesn't necessarily apply to Lara because her music has nothing to do with politics at all.
Right.
But if you look at music over the years, counterculture back in the 70s was a bunch of hippie liberals protesting, wars and things like that. Now suddenly we're in 2025 and counterculture is suddenly the MAGA movement making music. Like, how did that happen?
The rebels have returned in the form of MAGA.
Right. It's very interesting. So yeah, I mean, I think that music for politicians, I don't put Lara in that category. I mean, of course, given her last name, people will, automatically assume that she's a political figure. And yes, of course, she was the RNC co-chair and everybody knows who her father-in-law is. But for politicians to be able to use music, it's a new medium. It's not new, but it's just a medium that nobody has ever thought of to use to get their political agenda and messaging out.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I think politicians should really tap more into. You wouldn't believe how many congressional and senatorial candidates have been reaching out to me to create jingles for them for their upcoming campaigns.
Oh, wow. So what are they looking for?
It depends on the candidate, really. They're all looking for different things. Some people just want a little jingle. Other people want, the candidate to actually be on the recording. Yeah. It's a wide array of inquiries and asks.
Well, I'll be ready for these midterm elections. You guys are going to be really busy.
One of the things that really resonated with me is when LJ and I were initially conceptualizing some ideas for this project. He mentioned to me that President Trump, his viewpoint on music was, it's one of those things that crosses all party lines. Mm-hmm. And I think in the last several years, everybody has really kind of been polarized one way or another. And there's been a lot of division. And, for President Trump to take that standpoint and look at music as a tool to unify America and unify the parties and, bring people together instead of pushing people apart, that totally hit home for me. Yeah. And, coming from a hip hop background, it was really interesting to see how, the last 10 years has played out, because if you go back to some of the most classic hip hop records from the 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s, there's countless references to President Trump. He was a major figure that, some of the most famous rappers would, look up to and mention in their lyrics. And then, after 2016, there's certain people in the industry that had their own political standpoints, and they seem to try to turn the tides against President Trump. And I thought that was just, such a shame, because he's been such a major component of the hip hop industry, not even intentionally, but he has been for so long. So I think on his recent campaign, LJ and I were also helping bringing some of these hip hop artists to his campaign for events and rallies and things like that. And it was pretty interesting, because initially, when we were reaching out to artists, and some of these artists I already knew were kind of like conservative or Republican leaning, or you know, were on board with what President Trump has been doing. When we were talking to them, they were scared of cancel culture. They were like, you know, behind closed doors, they're like, oh, we love the guy. Like we're all for voting for President Trump in the next election, but publicly they're scared to death to come out and speak in support. So the tide started turning, and we were noticing this in real time as artists were that you would not think would want to come out and publicly support a Republican president were. And I think that's really happened to pick up steam in this regard. And, you know, French Montana, when we brought this to him, he was like ready to go. He thought this was so cool. And I think the record, the way the public perceived it, it was, you know, nobody had this in their 2025 bingo card.
It's the most unusual pairing. Like nobody would expect it.
But it totally works. Like when you hear the record, it's amazing, because if we didn't tell you this was Lara Trump on the record, you would never know. You would think this is a pop star.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You think it's Dua Lipa or somebody like that.
Totally.
You know, like.
So where can it, to wrap up, where can we get your music, Lara's project? Tell us everything that we need to know.
So No Days Off, her latest single, is available on every streaming platform: Amazon, Spotify, Apple. Those are the three major ones. I can name the smaller ones, but most people don't use them. But wherever you stream your music, wherever you download your music, you can find it there.
Okay.
It's available there.
And I'm just thinking, I think there's a documentary in the works about Trump and hip hop.
I think there should be.
I
I
think
think you're right.
Because I think that you both would have some really fascinating stories. And
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. With Laura's permission. But there is something I want to touch on.
she should be the host.
I know.
be
She
cool.
should be.
Okay, I'm pitching ideas here.
All right.
Putting it out into the world.
I'll put some feelers out. But there is something I want to touch on, because I think a lot of people don't realize how involved she is in the creative process of the creation of the music.
Yeah.
First off, she's her own CEO. She's the CEO of herself. She has a vision. She knows what she wants. I really have never worked with an artist that is as intense, focused, and incredible in a recording studio as Lara Trump. And you may find that hard to believe.
Actually, I don't. I don't, because when I see her physical fitness routine, as someone who does not exercise and is always struggling to get on the treadmill, when I see her dedication, someone that dedicates themselves, first of all, is a mom, she's a host, she does it all. Mm-hmm. But those people who like really focus in on their exercise program, I just think that that's like phenomenal. So when you tell me that about her discipline in the studio, it does make sense.
Her discipline is incredible. And not only that, she makes my job easier as the executive producer of these records, where I'm supposed to be telling people, oh, put this sound here, put this sound here, change this vocal here, take this cut out. She kind of takes that job over for me. Like, you know, she'll take my advice, but she's like, no, LJ, I like this. Put this here, put this there, put that there. And she really knows what she's doing. She knows what she wants. Like I said, she's not a puppet. No one's controlling her. She knows what she wants, and she gets it done, and it comes out phenomenally well.
She's
every single time.
An amazing woman, and this is an amazing project. And go out there, listen to it, check it out. We're looking forward to more. Thank you so much,
Thank
LJ.
you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Allison.
Oh,
Pleasure.
such a pleasure to
Likewise.
have you in here today. And thank you, everyone. Real America's Voice. We want to hear what you have to say in the Getter chat, in the Rumble chat, all major social media platforms. Stay tuned, Rav, for more.